Here's Brody Brazil.
Anthony Rendon suspension. We're past the cycle of that, I guess. The suspension's probably going to be over. If it's not yesterday, soon. Has it already been the 4 games? The more I think about it, it's easy to say a couple things. I see MM Forever in the super chat. MM, I'll get to you next. It's easy to say a couple things as you look back on the Anthony Rendon situation. Like, you cannot call a fan over and then grab a fan and then take some kind of a swipe or a swing at a fan. I mean, he must have missed him on purpose. You can't have a guy in your grasp and do this and actually not hit him. Like, that, it's impossible. Like, you're that close. You're a very coordinated individual. He didn't jump on you either. You could you could have like went straight for his face. Like, anyway, I'll also say this: if you're a sports fan, just because you pay for a ticket, you do not get the right to do anything or everything that you want. Same way that if you get a hotel room or rent a car, you don't get to crash the car and say, well, I rented it and that happened, so not my fault. You don't get to do that. You don't get to trash a hotel room and then check out and then they don't send you a $2,000 bill to fix things. You're responsible, and you're responsible for your words and actions in a public setting like that. Now, you'd hope that in a public setting, nobody would cross the line without security there, without other fans to be like, yo, Mr. or Mrs. Usher, that fan over there has all game. Like, this is terrible. We got to stop this. Let the ushers take care of it. It's not fans' responsibility to police other fans. But I'm just saying, in a public space, like a baseball game at the Coliseum, you cannot, Mr. or Mrs. fan, you're not the center of attention here. You should not be the one to start a conflict, right? You want to heckle people? Fine, that's part of the game. You want to yell something funny? Yeah, or even if like, I'm not going to stop you from even saying something that was like inappropriate for a youngster. Okay, I mean, it happens. As a father, I don't want that. I don't want to take my kid to any sporting event and have drunk dude three rows over, 3 aisles over, whatever, 3 sections over, having to explain to my son, what's he talking about? I don't prefer that. But I'll even let you go that far. But when it's over and over and over and you're really riding somebody, okay. Now, I don't know that happened. We don't have the entire documentation. All I saw was Rendon go up to a fan, ask him to come even closer so he could grab him, so he could do that. It's also weird that none of Rendon's teammates behind him, did anything. They all just kept walking down the tunnel, Ohtani included. Like, if I'm Rendon's teammate and I care about Rendon, I'm like, yo, dude, no. You're not thinking right now. I'm not letting you do this. I'm pulling you away. Nobody did that. They literally let him sink his own ship. So, he was in the moment, which I also understand too. The fan, the spectator caught the athlete in the moment. We're all humans. This stuff happens. So let's not pretend that, just because your paycheck is what it is, that you are immune to this. You're absolutely not. This stuff is bound to happen. But looking back on it, I'll never side with a fan who kept crossing the line. I'll also never side with a player who goes out of their way to go into the stands to physically do something to a fan. Now, if the fan physically starts something with the player, all bets are off. You as the player, you don't know who they are, what they've got on them, what their intentions are. You do whatever you want to defend yourself and stop or eliminate the situation immediately. If that fan runs on the field to do something and grabs Rendon like that, Rendon, put him out. Simple as that. But the other way around, I mean, look, even a measly broadcaster like myself, there's constantly people who will say something mean in person or usually on social media. A lot of times where I would say, I want to respond. Nope, not going to do it. For the things I see, there's a lot of stuff I probably don't even see. You have to be better than that. You, the competitor, you, the person who's used to being in the spotlight, you have to be better than that. So, suspension's probably over. Maybe this is this point is moot already. But just looking back on it, my feelings were pretty clear cut in the moment. Like right after I saw that happen, right after I understood how it played out, they've not changed. This just cannot. I hope stuff like this. I always cringe, but I hope we see less of these types of things over the years. I think, going back to the whole Pistons malice at the palace of the early 2000s, we've not seen anything large scale like that in a long time. But fans fighting is ugly enough, each other, but fans and physical altercations with athletes, it makes me cringe. It's just unfortunate every time it happens.